This one's been stewing inside of me since February, and I don't know if it was just because of the Hall of Fame conversations that were going on at the time or what, but Frank Gore's name popped up several times. Some DMs came up, some conversations among friends and colleagues, and I couldn't believe that there were people among us who genuinely believed that Frank Gore is not a Hall of Famer. I remember back in February on the way back from the Senior Bowl, Zach Lyons and I talked about this for approximately 4 hours on the drive home, just completely befuddled. It's mind-boggling that another opinion could exist on Frank Gore besides he is a lock for the Hall of Fame. It would be really helpful if I remembered the 50-plus data points that we pulled in the car to support Gore's candidacy that day, but it's too late for that now, and these videos are meant to be like 3 to 5 minutes anyway. I'm already over a minute, and I haven't even gotten into my case, but I've heard, what did he do that was extraordinary? He never led the league in rushing. Only got his stats because he played for so long. The man averaged 1,000 yards per season for 16 seasons. One of the greatest running backs of all time. And did you not watch him? Like, calibrate the eye test, people. 16,000 yards puts him at third all-time in the NFL in rushing yards. In history, NFL history, 16,000 yards. Only 2 more people rushed for more than he did. 19,985 yards from scrimmage, 4th all-time. So the average career rushing yardage of a running back that is in the Hall of Fame, and if I'm not mistaken, there's 52. There's 50-something running backs in the Hall of Fame. Their average career rushing yardage is 10,991 yards. Frank Gore passed that in 2014 and played for 6 more years. I think people forget the era, too. Like, there were a lot of good running backs back then, and even in that context, in my opinion, Adrian Peterson and LaDainian Tomlinson are the only 2 that are better than Frank Gore. And he played on some pretty mediocre 49er teams. I don't think people realize how bad those teams were back in the day when he started his career there. And Frank Gore was like a lightning rod. He was a bright spot in that organization. When they finally started winning, people were like, oh, good for Frank Gore. Happy he's starting to win games because he's been so good for so long that he deserves it. And then you watch the tape, like, just break down his game. You talk about the patience, the vision. I think there was a rope-a-dope quality to his game. You know, he could kind of lull you to sleep in the backfield, and then boom, he's gone. He hits the hole, hits you in the face, and he runs you over, and he's gone. I thought he was always underrated as a pass catcher, had that versatile aspect of his game, and he could, man. When defenses couldn't slow him down, he could really take over a game. One of, if not the gold standard for what it means to be a bell cow in the NFL in NFL history. And even if you want to say, well, he only got those stats because he played for so long. Well, for one, like I said before, he could have cut his career short by 6 years and still tallied the average number of rushing yards that running backs in the Hall of Fame have. 2, the fact that he was able to be that productive for that long, it should be celebrated. I mean, how many running backs can you think of off the top of your head that have had that level of sustained success? Gore is a modern marvel in a game that is designed to blow your body up and a position that is designed to put you in the equivalent of a car wreck in terms of the toll on your body, the equivalent of a car wreck week in and week out. He was able to take care of himself at a level that allowed him to be on the field for so long. That in and of itself is worthy of being celebrated. He's a rarity, is my point. We're too caught up in the stats, the rushing titles, which is kind of weird because if you look at the stats, I think a lot of them actually point towards Gore being a Hall of Famer, but I digress. I sat in a bar in Mobile, Alabama with 3 coaches that coach on NFL teams, and when they were asked to weigh in on this debate, all 3 of them, without a second of hesitation, unequivocally said, yes, he's a Hall of Famer. So I think you're outsmarting yourselves with this Frank Gore isn't really a Hall of Famer stuff. It's not a PFF score. This isn't some sort of mathematical composite figure. It's a spot in the Hall of Fame, a place that is reserved for the all-time greats. Frank Gore is an all-time great. In my opinion, should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, no question about it. I need to remove myself from this discussion because my chest is starting to hurt a little bit.